I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is another request from Felix. Thank you so much for that. If you want to request reviews, topics, reactions, pretty much any type of videos that you request it, send it directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. But Shrek Forever After, I don't think this is as bad as the third film, but I can't say I was really a fan of this either. Because number one, this felt like a story it felt like a film that wasn't needed. It felt like a film that honestly didn't really do anything to build up the world. That didn't really do anything to further the full story of these characters. I didn't think it was that funny. I can't think of any jokes that I really laughed at. The new characters, I didn't give a shit about Rumpelstiltskin. He just annoyed the piss out of me. For some reason, you remind me of Martin Short from one of the Santa Claus 3 or whatever the fuck it was. I don't know why. For some reason, when I saw Rumpelstiltskin, I'm like, okay, if this was live action, it'd be played by Martin Short. And I like Martin Short, but just not in Santa Claus 3, whatever the fuck movie. And I didn't like this character. You're not supposed to, he's the villain. But even as a villain, you're just annoying more than anything. Again, and the Rumpelstiltskin character, he was in the third film, and he had a different design, different look to him. But hey, what the fuck do I know? And apparently, even though the parents, John Cleese and Julie Andrews, apparently, not only did they make a deal with the fairy godmother and his Prince Charming, but I guess before that, they made a deal with Rumpelstiltskin. Which, no, that's not the case. They made a deal with Fairy Godmother first. Because when they're doing the Rumpelstiltskin, they're ready to sign. Oh, she's been rescued. Oh, and then they don't sign. And then Rumpelstiltskin's pissed at that, and then he wants revenge on Shrek. So, that's something that... Let me hold on to that for later. The story of the film, It's a Wonderful Life with Shrek. And I thought, this seemed like something that would be like an episode of a TV show. This story. People are like, well, what do you mean? It's a Wonderful Life. That was the movie. I'm just saying with this, it seemed almost inconsequential. It seemed like, okay, this is the finale to your films. Although apparently they want to make a fifth one. So I guess it's not the final chapter. So anytime someone says the fucking final chapter, it's a goddamn lie. And it is funny that you can skip the third film and not miss anything. Because remember the Arthur who became King, Justin Timberlake voiced him, Merlin, those two, none of them get brought up in this film at all. So even This film thinks the third film sucked so much they just forget it. The Shrek has kids. That's the only thing from the third film that's brought back to this. But they do a little montage of showing the day in the life of Shrek. Dealing with the babies. Yeah, more fucking farting, because we need that. We can't have a Shrek movie without fucking farting for some goddamn reason. But, he has a loving wife, Donkey's kids, tour buses, everyone loves him, there's a party, everyone loves him, everyone is fine. But now Shrek, I don't like this. I wish I could be older again. And during this party, I get it that they're ratcheting up his turmoil of this mundane day-to-day where it's just all this stuff building up. Where babies crying, babies farting, characters. Oh, did you lick the cake? No, I didn't do that. No, did you do this? No, I didn't do it. So he blows his top, then he leaves, but then he says stuff like, oh man, maybe I regret the day I saved you. Just some vile shit that he says that just didn't make sense to me. Even though they tried their best to go, well, he blew his top and he's tired of people liking him, and I'm like, this doesn't make any fucking sense when you think of the character that was in the first 3 movies. His whole fucking point was to get to this point that he is at the beginning. And again, I know they're trying to make it like, oh my god, that's the whole point of the story, is that you have everything. Why is the only one who can't see it you? I get that's the point of the story. They literally tell you that point of the story. Literally tell you that. I just thought that's a shitty story to tell. Because it just makes Shrek that much of a dumb, stupid, asshole motherfucker. The big point of the first film is that, oh, they hate me without even knowing me. That seemed like the whole gist of Shrek. And now I was like, well, we want to tell the story, so fuck it. Just turn it on his head, and yeah, the whole point is that he doesn't know how good he has it. So he just comes off as an asshole. As a fuckwit. So it really made me not like the Shrek character. So then he meets Rumpelstiltskin. Rumpelstiltskin goes, hey, how about I take away a day from your past, and you can have a day of being an ogre, and people are afraid of you. Shrek does it. He's a fucking idiot. And so now he's in an alternate world where he was never born, and now far, far away land is in turmoil. Of course, none of the characters know who he is. Fiona is an ogre with an army of ogres as a resistance, and it just wasn't that interesting of a story. It could have the potential to be interesting, but what's really done with this? I mean, Donkey, he doesn't know him, okay, but then he just becomes his friend almost the same as he was before. Fiona, okay, I don't know who you are, then let's fight each other. Get the fuck away from me. Why are you trying to kiss me? Maybe it could be interesting, but I didn't give a shit. The one thing with the character I thought was interesting was how Puss in Boots became this fat, lazy, fat-ass cat. And the first time I saw him, it got the one genuine chuckle out of me is you see the plump Puss in Boots on the cat scratcher, and just like sliding all the way down slowly. I said the one genuine chuckle I got out of it. I just seen, this Puss in Boots being this big, fat, plump type of character. And Antonio Banderas, how he voiced the character. That was the one thing I'm like, okay, there's some smirks. I need to get out of this, some smiles I need to get out of this. That's it. That's it. I mean, the other Olders, okay, one's voiced by Craig Robinson, one's voiced by Jane Lynch. The only thing I remember is one wanted a chimichanga stand. What, for Deadpool to come in and eat some shit? I just didn't... It's just nothing that interesting about those characters at all. Rumpelstiltskin was an annoying little fuck. He had a Pied Piper. Okay. Who... You know what? How about this? How about a Pied Piper played by Roddy Piper? That'd be fun. Like, you have the Pied Piper, but when he's not playing the pipe, he's talking smack. As Roddy Piper. Maybe that could have been fun. No, just a Pied Piper who makes witches dance to the Beastie Boys, or he finds the Olders, makes them all dance. Okay. One day leads to another. The Olders get caught. Shrek only has one day. Realizes that Fiona doesn't love him. Of course, because she doesn't fucking know you, dude. Oh, and I was going to say before with the beginning, if Shrek never was born, where's the fairy godmother? Where is Prince Charming? Where is John Lithgow's character? All of these characters, all these villains, you could have had the opportunity to have them in there. You could have John Lithgow's character in there. You could have the fairy godmother, because they're bad guys too. Either they could have worked with Rumpelstiltskin, or maybe John Lithgow's now and fairy godmother have to team up with Shrek. Granted, they're doing it for their own selfish reasons, or maybe John Lithgow's character is, I don't know, a changed man in this as an alternate version. Maybe John Lithgow's character is a good guy, or the fairy. You could have played up with that aspect. Like, they were bad, you know. If it's an alternate dimension, if it's an alternate world, how about Donkey is a bad guy and a villain? That'd be interesting. If you gave me that, like, okay, at least I'm gonna know what the fuck's gonna happen next. That's what I mean, like, with this alternate, nothing is really done that tremendously different. At least not to me, not to my... I mean, the fairy godmother and Prince Charming, they had made a deal with the parents, John Cleese and Julie Andrews. You think they'd be pissed that, wait a minute, they disappeared, where the fuck did they go? Prince Charming was on his way to rescue the princess. Did this movie forget about that? At the beginning of Shrek 2, he comes in and rescues the princess. If Shrek was never born, then the girl would have been there. But here Fiona goes, no one rescued me. When the parents disappeared, I didn't remember. In Shrek 2, the fairy godmother and Prince Charming made a deal with the parents. Prince Charming was already on the way there. It took him too long, but he's already going there. That would not change just because, oh, the parents signed it, so they disappear. Well, the fairy godmother didn't disappear. Prince Charming didn't disappear. Prince Charming would have been on the way. My point is, he would have reached it, kissed her, boom, Rumpelstiltskin's plan. I mean, wouldn't it be Fiona would be with Prince Charming and fairy godmother? Where's fairy godmother? You think she'd have a bitch fest with Rumpelstiltskin? That's what I mean, like, none of this makes fucking sense, even within its own goddamn stories. Like, they didn't see the previous films. Like, they completely forgot about Shrek 2 and the actual fucking story. Why didn't Prince Charming rescue her then, if he was on the fucking way? But no, they make a big part of the story that no one rescued her, so I guess she left on her own fucking volition. Whatever. The ending of the film is pretty much the Olders come in, they bust in. Shrek and Fiona, there's the dragon. The dragon's come back, but of course the dragon's still a bad guy, and they chain the dragon up. And Love's true kisses him. Things are back to normal. Things are okay. Shrek realizes he's had everything that he needs, and it's a happy ending. I'm not great. So Shrek realizes what the fuck we already knew, what he should have already fucking known by the end of the third fucking film when he had kids. So that's why it almost seems like this film was fucking pointless. He learned something that he already should have fucking known in the first place. Like, It's a Wonderful Life, like, those movies work because they're a one-off. They're one story where they didn't have 3 fucking movies before it. Here, if he doesn't know by this point that he's lucky, then he's just fucking idiot. He gets what he deserves. You know, sort of that. I'm sorry, I know it's a harsh reaction, but it's my truthful, honest reaction. He just comes out as a fucking idiot and a dick. And I said the movie's not that funny, the villain's fucking irritating. And I realized that when I said before, I know I repeated myself, that I wasn't a big fan of Shrek. It's these 2 films, 3 and 4, that I kept remembering more. I'm like, these films do fucking suck. Lousy humor, lousy stories, in my opinion. Shit that don't make sense when you compare it to the previous films. Like, where the fuck is Donald Lithgow's character? Where the fuck are all these other characters? All this stuff you could have done. I think it could have been a lot more creative. Could have been a lot more clever. Could have been a lot more witty. Than this just felt lazy. It just felt insanely fucking lazy. Instead of being clever, let's have the witches dance the fucking Beastie Boys. Use the Pied Piper. How about someone take the pipe, get some fucking ganja, then shove it up his fucking ass to cool off. Fuck this fucking movie, man. Shrek Forever After. Oh, I did forever. Go watch The Sandlot instead. Forever After. Yeah, after you get the fucking clap. After you get off the toilet, then someone sticks your head into a fucking swirly. I'd probably say three. You know, I said 3 is worse, and I don't even know. Think about it now. I mean, they both. Who gives a shit? They both fucking suck. See you guys later. Bye bye.